What's up there, Workforce? Chris here with Work To Game, and it is time for another community feedback, this time on, are you guys planning on buying Octopath Traveler? Now, this week is brought to us by our Patreons. We are fan-funded here on Work To Game, and so we just wanted to say thank you to them. If you want to thank a Patreon, definitely feel free to leave a comment for them down in the comments section below. Maybe consider becoming one yourself. Now, let's dive in. Now, the first comment comes to us from Fortnite is Cancer. I would love to know how you feel about Fortnite. The soundtrack, man. The soundtrack. If this game doesn't get the soundtrack of the year, I'm gonna flip. And honestly, if this game doesn't get soundtrack of the year, I would love to know what game does, because you're right, the sound is incredible. My only fear with a 3-hour demo is that those beautiful, wonderful, immersive tracks get repeated into similar zones throughout the game, and I actually get tired of the actually beautiful, wonderful music number that has made up everything that I've experienced with Octopath so far. If you guys have not downloaded the demo, you're gonna catch a theme here. You should at least try the 3-hour demo. The game comes out July 13th, so we have about a month left. Get on it. Our next comment comes to us from Andrew Kufor. I've never been the type to trip over whether or not I 100% a game or not, but after playing a demo like this 3 times already, I've been so inspired I want to put serious hours into this game. I really want 100% this game for the full experience, somewhat to Xenoblade 2, at the same time unlike it. I can't wait for this game. I've already pre-downloaded it. Yes, I think 100% in game is a lofty goal. Definitely set aside the time and plan on just doing a little bit each day. Try to avoid that burnout, and you can get there. If you just, put a lot in at the beginning, kind of push through, and then just kind of say, okay, I'm just going to set a timer and keep putting this in, you'd be amazed at what you could achieve. I know for a fact that, like in 14, I have been a Final Fantasy 14 player for long enough that if I had just done that every single day by now, I would have achieved everything I set out to achieve. That is an incredibly wonderful experience when you can beat a game that solidly. It feels good. It feels like you achieved something, and I think this might be a game that is good enough that you're going to enjoy the experience enough that it would be worth considering this as one of those games to really just dump all the time you have into it. Now, Tyrell Collins says, what's really good is that it's going back to its roots with the great graphics and imagination. Nintendo don't follow the crowd, always 3D and movie-like games. Nintendo always tries to do something new and fresh. Now, first of all, this is not a Nintendo game. This is a Square Enix game. It's the same people who did Bravery Default, as far as I know. This isn't entirely them, but yes, they've done a great job of fostering an atmosphere and a platform that encourages, developers to take risks and do something new and different. And I love this game, this like 2D, 2.5D style where it feels really classic and it feels like a 16-bit pixel art game that'd be on the regular Nintendo, maybe the SNES or a handheld game. And then because of the way it kind of does the blurs in and out and as you move, and there's all these little lighting effects coming off the waterfalls, and then the immersion of the music, and then all the different voice acting and audio recording, it's clear that they've spent a lot more time in it, and they've spent a ton of time making it look like they didn't spend any time at all, and you just don't know why you feel so good. They hide it, it creeps up on you. The longer you play it, the more you're like, it's truly immersive without being a realistic graphic style, and I'm very impressed by it. Once again, guys, can't say it enough. If you haven't downloaded the demo, go do it. Frozen Gamer, I really enjoyed the demo. The boss fights were fun and tense. Yes, I flew through my first boss fight, didn't really struggle, and then I think because they must be scaled to the level in the order you do them, I don't really know yet. It felt like the second one got a little bit harder, and then the third one wiped me, and I had to sit there and say, okay, well, what was I doing wrong? How do I strategize? What turn I use, what move? And I ended up saying, okay, my thing that breaks him seems to interrupt his big charge ability that's one-shotting everybody, so I'll get him one away from breaking, hit him with elements that don't break him, and then right as he charges up, I'll just slam him into the ground. And so it was super fun, super intense, and I just loved that it kind of made you think about the strategy of each boss fight. Do I take down his little guys first? Do I take down him first? You have so many options on how you use your guys, who's in charge of healing. You can each person can feed the other people items, so you don't have to have them take one of their turns to, heal themselves with a grape or a plum or whatever. And so it's a fascinating game, and I'm really excited to have a turn-based RPG again. I think one of the other comments said it had been like 10 years since they'd seen a good one. I don't know if it's 10 years since there's been a good one out there, but it probably has been that long since I've gotten my hands on one. So I think this is really looking like it's going to be a fantastic game. And the last one is from Nintendad. I strongly disagree with the video's over-enthusiastic impressions. This guy. Yes, the game looks and sounds beautiful, but predictable story, limited exploration, repetitive combat features result in a disappointing experience. I've been waiting forever for this game. Fun demo, but sadly it's not enough to prompt me to purchase. Now, first of all, if you're not prompted to purchase, the great thing about the digital age is that developers have done a great job of, taking advantage of what would have been the used market by selling a digital copy at full price, which then can't be transferred, but then down the road releasing sales so that they can get paid at each and every step along the way. And, I don't know how you feel on that, but what it does mean is that if you aren't sure that you want to pay the full price tag that I do personally feel this game is worth, you can always wait to see if it goes on sale down the road, or if it triggers some DLC or something like that, that it might be worth the purchase then. Because typically later they'll bundle the DLC, they'll do all these things that are a better deal in trade for the fact that you're playing a game 2 years after everybody else already beat it. So I do think, Nintendo, if you don't think it's worth the full price, it might be worth picking up at a partial price when it goes on sale, probably in a great deal of time. And then, predictable story, well, it's early on in the story. So am I excited about it? Yes. Do I think that everything so far was predictable? A little bit. I don't know which characters you played. The dancer was a lot darker than I thought it would be, and some of the others, so I think some of the stories, they're going to have some very iconic trends, but they have 8 stories there, so, you might like some more than others. Looks and sounds beautiful. Absolutely true. And then limited exploration, well, it is a demo, and it's early game, and so I don't expect them to pull out all the stops and really blow me away. And a JRPG, the repetitive combat and stuff, that's kind of on trend for the genre. So I'm really not totally shocked by that, and if that's not something you like, then maybe JRPGs aren't for you, because repetitive, grindy, doing the same combat over and over for the sake of doing it over and over is kind of par for the course. Even when you talk about, comparing Final Fantasy XIV to WoW, the kind of like overlaying Japanese culture of having a Japanese developer handling Final Fantasy XIV can make elements of that game very, very grindy, things like Eureka. And so, I don't really know how to say that that's disappointing, but I appreciate your opinion, and I do think it's a valid point that there are going to be people who don't like this game, so that is what the demo is for. Be sure you guys go try the demo and decide if this genre is for you. For the genre, I think this game is an absolute gem, but do I think that somebody who loves shooters and racing games is going to like this? No. I think that you need to be somebody who likes JRPGs. I think this thing is true to form and is an incredible execution of everything it promises to be. And so that's really it, guys. This has been Chris with Work to Game. This is just a point where we continue the conversation with you guys. There was a ton of interesting comments. Some liked the demo, some didn't. Some beat the demo a million times. Others said they wanted to kind of hold off and hold on to their surprises. So I think that there is a lot of buzz around this game for people for and against it. Mostly seems to be for, but, then again, we positively liked it here on the channel, so maybe we're just capturing only people who feel like we do. So avoid your echo chamber, get out there, look for reviews, decide if this is something for you. It's great that they gave us a demo of actual gameplay, something you'll actually get to keep going into the game if you do choose to purchase. So I think it is definitely something you should get your hands on, and I hope you guys found some of these comments kind of interesting, and maybe you got to see yours up there. We try to do these from time to time. Definitely would love to be doing them more often than we have been lately. So thank you guys so much for the comments. We absolutely love doing that. That is our favorite part of running a YouTube channel, is that Brian and I get to talk with you guys in the comments below. We try to, respond to as many as possible, and we try to set these videos aside from time to time when the comment section just gets really out of hand on a video or two, and it's an interesting topic like this. So Octopath Traveler is coming out next month in July. The demo is out now. It is real gameplay. Download it to your Switch. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, you didn't pay anything for it except up to 3 hours of your time. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time.